You all sound really great. Make sure you sing listen up. Make sure you're smiling because you sound better when you smile. I promise. It's a scientific fact. Also,
if not, you sound better. You sound better.
that's also true.
What song are we starting with?
We're starting with Kine Matov, and all of the kindergartners and first graders are going to join us. We're going to keep our mouths up now, okay? All right.
Can I go get one of the flip thingies?
One of the what?
Flip things.
Oh, sure. Go for it. All right. So, friends, I need all of you to take 2 big steps back. Okay, that was bigger than I anticipated. All right, friends, we're going to stop that. If you are in kindergarten, stay where you are.
I think this is good.
If you are in first grade, come on up.
That's where we were right there. No, we
If you're in first grade, come on up onto me. This is all of our first graders. All right. And I want you to be right in front of Makela. Come right over here.
Hey,
Over here. Yes, they can. Because I'm telling you to. Come on. All right. And if you're in kindergarten, come on up. All right. If you are maybe a little bit shorter, come over here. One more row in front. So, come here. Right in front. All right. Very good. All right. Come on in. Look, right over here. Right over here. Right over here. Very good. Okay. Very good. All right.
There be love.
Can everybody see me?
Clearly.
Okay. How about
No.
now? Okay.
I can.
So, if you're in the first row, don't move. If you're in the second row, make sure you're in a window, you're in a spot where you can see me. If you're in Montreal, in the third row, make sure you're in a spot where you can see me. Okay. This is how I want us to be standing when we invite kindergarten and first grade up. We're going to invite you up 3 times. We're going to start up here at the very beginning of the service. We're going to start up here, we're going to sing Kine Matov. We're going to come back up for Shema. And then we're going to come back up for Osei Shalom. Those are the 3 times. We're going to go up and down. This is how I want us to be. Don't worry about Makela right now. I'm talking about kindergarten and first grade. Don't worry about it. Okay. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Okay. So, we're going to make sure we can see me. We're going to make sure, can everybody see their grown-ups that brought them?
Yeah.
Can you wave to your grown-up? Everybody wave to your grown-up. Okay. Very good.
Mama.
Very good. We're waiting for grown-ups. Very good. Okay.
Say that.
Very good.
Say that.
We're going to get started in just a minute. So I want you to stay exactly where you are. See, the only thing I'm worried about, to be totally honest with you, is Mikroka, but I think Mikroka.
Where's Dad?
I can read it.
Where's
It's
Dad?
just, like,
Whatever.
Where's Daddy?
we're never doing it.
Fine. Also, because I have a story to tell, but I'm going to have to cover it. Just like each one is aware that kindergarten, first grade,
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
they have short history. You got to do this before 5.
It's
You know what we can cut for sure? Aline.
Are you West Coast?
the fact that we left it in is
It's hysterical.
There's my mother.
right, everyone. Shabbat Shalom and welcome. And I'm going to indulge this one. I see a couple of you with phones out. I'll indulge this one picture, and then you got to put them away.
All right, Kevin, you big smiles.
Because we're a non-smoking, non-picture taking synagogue. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad that you're here, and we are particularly appreciative of the kindergarten and first graders here. And know that if you want, this entire service will be streamed and therefore recorded, and so you can see it again and again and again. Kids, you can ask your parents to show you the replay, and they can even do it in slow-mo if they want, just to get all the details. We're going to start with Hine Matov. That is having the kindergarten, the first grade, and Makela all joining together. We're so glad everyone is here. And I think you guys, well, the kindergarten and first grade at least, I think they can sit down, back to their seats if you want. You can all go back, but carefully because there's wires and cords there. You don't want to trip.
Including Makela?
Sure, Makela, you go back to your seat too. Why not?
Okay. Just call us back.
We're so glad everyone's here. We're so glad to be. We know, by the way, that for some of you, this might be the first time you've come to a grown-up Shabbat here at Temple Beth Shalom. Right? I mean, a lot of people who are here are used to coming to Tat Shabbat, and now you're here at your first Shabbat here at the temple, and we're so glad that you're here with us. And for you who are parents and grandparents, just want you to know we are aware that there are a number of kindergarten and first graders, and we have taken that into consideration as we've been planning the service today. Just want you to know. And we're so happy, by the way, Makela is here, and Makela is going to be helping the kindergarten and first graders with their singing to really make it all sound so beautiful. So welcome and Shabbat Shalom, and we're going to do the blessing for lighting the Shabbat candles. So if you want to follow along, you can find it on page 120 in your prayer book.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
good. Any first graders or kindergartners want to know what I should do here? Can help me? Like, what did kindergartners
This is a
do
new
when
problem.
you have problems with your candles? Well, I was going to burn myself. I had to blow it out. All right, let's try this way. By the way, I'm not an expert at candle lighting. I like to think that you are. That's good.
Great.
Like, you said they were an expert at blowing them out. Because I think you guys did that, not me.
That was silly.
That was a mistake.
Okay.
That was an accident. We are going to do the... That was funny though, but that was an accident. We're going to do the Kiddush now. It's on page 123. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam
asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'ratzon nidhilanu zikaron le'maaseh bereshit ki hu yom tehillah le'nikra'ei kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim ki banu v'charta v'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahavu ratzon inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabat.
Amen. All right, so I don't think people, if you're still working on your reading, like your ability to read, you probably don't need the prayer book. And the reason why, I know most people know how to read, but it's going to be hard. So just telling you, you probably don't need your books. We're just going to be doing some singing tonight. So no need to get the books out. We're going to continue with Lechuna Ranana. For adults, it's on page 130, and Makela is going to join us back up here again.
First year.
Baruch And Makela, stay right where you are. We're on page 146, the Baruch Hu, and we invite you all to please rise. And remember, if you're in kindergarten or first grade, you probably don't need a book, but you can still stand with us. As a creative translation or prayer for what happens before the Shema, this is Roll into Dark. We're on page 148.
Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Hooray, oh, la, la, la. Hooray, oh, mine kosher. Hooray, oh, mine kosher. B'kosher mine. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night.
Please remain standing. And for kindergarten and first graders, if you could come up and join us here to help us with Shema as Makela remains here. Just be careful of the cords. Same places you were standing before. Same places. Okay, then
Everybody
turn around.
Can you turn
Face that way.
face this way? Okay. Palms together. Ready?
So you may be seated, and kindergarten first, you can go back to your seats as Makela stays here. We are gonna sing. Makela stays, kindergarten first, you go back to their seats. I'm gonna tell you a little story later about what happened at the Sea of Reeds when we went through. But before we do that, maybe we could sing Micha Mocha, which is the song that we sang when we got to the other side. So this is Micha Mocha, page 158. Stay here, because we're about to continue with Makela, but we'd like to invite up a special guest to assist us in our next prayer. And our next prayer is our evening prayer, in which we ask to just have a good night's sleep. Something tells me that there are a fair number of adults in this room that would also be doing this prayer a fair amount if they could. This is Dean Cavey on the violin, as he helps us with playing this song called "Let There Be Love," and it's and you can find it on page. Page. Found it. 161. 161. Let there be love. Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Makela. You can go back to your seats. We're on page 164 and 166. As we continue with the Avot Imahot, would everyone please rise?
Adonai sifatai tiftachu v'yagite gilatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Leah Elohei Rachel Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor HaNorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Ve'koneh HaKol Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot U'mei Geulah Livnei Bneihem Le'man Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah.
Please be seated. Have you noticed that the candles are still burning bright?
Well done.
What we're going to do is, what I'd like for you to do is take a moment. We're going to try our best to be quiet. If you want, pay attention to the candles. If you want, you can look at our eternal light up there called our Ner Tamid. If you want, you can look at that piece of art over there and try to figure out what it's about. If you want, you can look at our flags and you can think about why it is that we have two flags there and why that's important to us. We're not answering the questions, I'm having you think about it. And you can do all of this quietly for the next 30 seconds. Makela, kindergarten and first grade, you can come up. This is in your booklet. If you're one, the words to this is on the bottom of your booklet. Well done to you all. You may go back to your seat. What's that? Including Makela, that's right. Because what I'd like to do is briefly tell you a story, and I can't promise that it's going to be good, but I can tell you that it's an important story. And this is about this young fella named Nachshon. So let's try it. Who could say Nachshon? Excellent. So Nachshon was a boy. He lived in Egypt, not recently. This is a long, long time ago. That was when we were slaves in Egypt. But he was a kid, so he didn't have to do all the hard slave work. And what would happen is Nachshon, this is not going to be a Q&A story, by the way. Q&A means question and answers. Afterwards, at the Oneg, you can ask me any questions you want. So Nachshon had heard about long time before him how his ancestors had been free. But he also knew that his family here was not free, but he hoped there would be freedom soon. But Nachshon would see how everyone was working really hard, and they were in the desert because it was in Egypt and it was really hot. And so Nachshon would go running around and getting glasses of cold water to bring to his family because it looked like they needed water because they were thirsty. And so he would bring his family cold water, and his family always called him Brave Nachshon. And the reason why was because he was always sneaking water and bringing it to his family, and that's why they called him Brave Nachshon. Well, whenever Pharaoh would come around and inspect to see how all the work was doing, like on the pyramids and things, everyone would get scared because Pharaoh was coming around. Not Nachshon. He was really fast. He had fast shoes on. He had like his sneakers on. And he could run real fast. And Nachshon, while everybody else would run away, Nachshon would run and just kind of hide behind something so he could listen to what the Pharaoh was saying. And then he would go back and tell all of his family and all of the people what the Pharaoh's plans were. And that meant that not only did Nachshon's parents call him and family call him Brave Nachshon, but guess what? Everyone started calling him Brave Nachshon. Well, after some time, Nachshon got older, and he needed to start working, building the pyramids and stuff like that. Well, suddenly he went from being really happy all the time to being a little sadder because he was doing all of this hard work. And he started to wonder if ever there was going to be freedom. Until one day, he heard about this former Egyptian prince. He was a prince of Egypt. Anybody by chance know who that former Egyptian prince was? You forgot his name? Moses. Who said Moses? You said that. All right, fine. Whoever said Moses, make sure you give yourself an extra point. Okay, so Moses came around and would start talking to all the people, especially Nachshon, and said, hey, everybody, I know you're feeling a little nervous because of all of you're being slaves and everything, and you're wondering if you're ever going to be free, but trust me, I'm going to take care of that really soon. Well, all of the Israelites got happy because Moses gave them the good news that they were going to be free soon. And so you know what they did to celebrate? They went to the Nile River and they went for a swim. Here was the problem. Nachshon was very brave, except one thing. Nachshon was afraid of water. Not like drinking water or like taking a bath or something, but Nachshon was afraid of swimming. He did not know how to swim, and he was afraid of going in the water. Now, I do want everyone to know that sometimes when you're really young, it can be hard to learn how to swim, but sooner or later, it's a really good thing to learn how to do. But Nachshon just never learned it. and he was scared. And Moses saw him scared. And Moses said, "What's wrong, Nachshon?" And Nachshon said, "It's the water, I'm scared to go in." And Moses said, "It's okay, but just remember, sometimes the fastest way to freedom is facing the things that make you scared." Well, Nachshon thanked him, but that didn't change anything. He was not going into the water. The next day, Moses then went to Pharaoh, and you know what he said? "Hey, Pharaoh, let my..." Wait, I always thought it was "let my people snow." But I clearly have had it wrong all this time. "Let my people go." That makes much more sense. I have to write that down. Can someone write that down for me? It's "let my people go," not "let my people snow." Okay, so I'm working on this here. So Moses said to Pharaoh, "Let my people go." And you know what Pharaoh said? "No." I know, it was a really disappointment for me too. So then you know what Moses said? "All right, you don't want to let my people go? I'm bringing 10 plagues. 10 plagues, one after the other." But Nachshon, remember brave Nachshon? Nachshon is very brave about everything except swimming. So that means during the plagues, Nachshon was fine. Like, for example, one of the plagues was frogs everywhere. Nachshon was like, "I kind of like frogs." So he grabbed the frogs and played with the frogs. Or like darkness. Nachshon was like, "I can handle darkness." In fact, Nachshon even went and helped people who were having a hard time seeing in the dark. That's how good of a guy Nachshon was. Well, after the 10th plague, finally Pharaoh said, "You can go." And so we all left Egypt, and we marched our way through the desert. And when we got through the desert, we finally got, remember when I was telling you about that song we sang at the other side of the Sea of Reeds? Well, we got to the sea. And when we got to the sea, we saw that it was this big, big sea, and it was deep. Like, you can go in the shallow end, but not the deep end. The whole thing was the deep end, if you know what I'm talking about. You know shallow end and deep end, right? Well, not only did they have the sea in front of them, but all of a sudden they heard, and that was Pharaoh with his army coming back, changing his mind and wanting the Israelites, our people, to go and be slaves again. So we turned around, we see Pharaoh coming. We turn this way, we see a big sea. That's why it's called a sea, because we see a sea. It's true. That's why we call it a sea, because you can see it. So anyway, we didn't know what to do. It's like you got Pharaoh behind you coming in to bring you back to slavery, but you got this big sea, which we can see with our eyes, right? And that's why it's called a sea. And we didn't know what to do. And that's when Nachshon had an idea. Because remember Nachshon, what did Moses say to Nachshon? He said, "Hey, the only way to freedom is if you face your fears." And so you know what he did? He took a step into the water. Even though it was deep, he started walking in, and further and further, and the water started up at his legs, and then it went up to his stomach, and then higher and higher until the water was at his shoulders. And he was scared. But at the very second that water hit his shoulders, that was the moment in which God said, "You know what? That young man is brave." And so God split the Sea of Reeds in half. You've heard this story before now? That's right. So split the Sea of Reeds in half. And that meant that Nachshon, who was in the water, was no longer in the water. He was standing on the ground, dry ground. His clothes were still wet because, remember, he had gone in the water. But it's very dry climate there, so they all dried very quickly. Well, what do you know? All of our people made it through the Sea of Reeds, and then when we got through, it closed. The Egyptian and Pharaoh were not able to catch us. They did not drown. No one drowned. But we made it to the other side. They were forced to stay on their side. And guess what? And this is the most important part. From that point on, Nachshon always walked next to Moses when they were going to get to Canaan, to Israel. And the reason why is because Moses wanted to get a little bit of bravery with him as he was leading our people. And that, you may hear that story a little differently again in a couple weeks, because that is the story of the Passover Seder. We were slaves, but we made it. And I'm pretty glad that you got a chance to hear that story here. If you have questions, you can ask me later. For the time being, what I'd like to do is I would like to invite, no, let me do it this way. I would like to ask all of our children, whether you are in kindergarten, first grade, Makela, or any other grade, to go find your parents or grandparents. And parents and grandparents, if you would please take your arms, put them around your kid, or put them on the kid's head or shoulders or cheeks or whatever. Make sure they're nice and close. And by the way, if you are older and you think, I'm too old for this, I'm not letting my parents put their hands on my head or shoulders, cheeks. We are watching. We are noticing. We are seeing which one of you is letting your parents do it and which one is not. And you will be penalized 1 point and 1 cookie. So if you want to lose out on cookies, then move away from your parents. If you want to get more cookies, get closer. Now, if you are blessing a son, the words we use are Yisimcha Elohim ke'Ephraim v'chi Menashe, which means may God make you like the sons of Israel, or just like the best you that you can be. And if you are blessing a daughter, Yismech Elohim Kasara Rivka Leah v'Rachel, may God make you like the daughters of Israel, or like the very best that you can be. And for all of our children, Yivarechecha Adonai v'Yishmerecha, which means may God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka, which means may the light of God's face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May a sense of God's presence always surround you and bless you with peace. Amen. And now is the time to allow a kiss to be given to you or to give a kiss. That's right. Now, for those of you who are celebrating a birthday in the month of March, I would like to ask that you come up right here to the front of the bima so we can give you a little gift.
Front of the
Front.
bima. Front of the bima.
When is your birthday? March 12th. That counts. When's your birthday? March what? March 18th. That also counts. When's your birthday? That counts too. When is your birthday? April 6th. All right, well, you can stay. When's your birthday? March 30th. When's your birthday? Wait, what's today? 28th. 2 days. That's on Sunday. Happy birthday. Just stay. When's your birthday? August. August doesn't even have the letter M in it. When's your birthday?
March 2nd.
That counts. When's yours?
March 27th.
March 27th. When's yours?
March 27th. Yeah.
What time?
I have
No idea. When's yours?
March 9th.
March 9th. We've got March. When's yours? Oh yeah, January counts for March. No! Back to your seats. Okay, so for you who are March children, you have a choice. You can have a Temple Beth Shalom soft squeezy ball. You can have a Temple Beth Shalom pack of Go Fish cards. You can have a Temple Beth Shalom pencil. You can have, there's a few Temple Beth Shalom handy dandy notebooks and Temple Beth Shalom birthday cup. So your choice, what would you like? And you guys have a special one. Notepad. What's yours? What's yours? The ball. What's yours? What? The notebook. Those are coins. What would you like? A ball. What would you like? You sure you can have a coin? Then you can take a coin too. By the way, all of our birthday kids, come back up here, or I'm going to make you return your gifts. What would you like? Birthdays, stay up here. Go fish. What do you want? Or did you already, what do you want? Oh, you got one. Now, good, and you guys get the Temple Beth Shalom coin. Well, no, you got the handy dandy notepad. A coin. Now, for all of our birthday children, and we want to sing happy birthday to you, and then we need you to help us. So, we're going to sing happy birthday in Hebrew.
Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach.
Actually, we don't need your help. I forgot about how old you are. You can all go back to your seats. Thank you. I forgot about we weren't doing that late. So, what I'd like to ask, please, is that we're going to get for the next few minutes, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, we're going to get serious. And so I just would like to ask that we all, if you are in kindergarten and first grade especially, that you please just find your parents and just sit quietly with them for just a few minutes, because we're going to do a prayer which is important to some people here called the Kaddish. It's because they are trying to remember people that they love and care about very much who aren't with us. And so I'm going to share some names. If you hear a loved one's name that is meaningful and important to you, please feel free to rise when you hear their name, and then at the end I will invite everyone to rise if you want. We are remembering 2 loved ones who have passed away quite recently, Alice Weinstein and Del Fibus. And we are also remember these loved ones whose yahrzeits occur on this Shabbat. And again, if you hear a loved one's name, feel free to stand up. Albert Gimpelman, Ronald Pinsky, Joseph Burstein, Herbert Handelsman, Samuel Carden, Rose Block, Ida Harrison, Suzanne Cherig, Rose Kunitz, Alan Jacobs, Philip London, Chaim Ganel, Ruben Postal, and Lillian Weisberg. And now if anyone else wishes to rise because it's your tradition, or because you do so in solidarity, or because you are remembering people who have no one to say Kaddish for, please do so. We're on page 598 with the words of the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechal beit Yisrael ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lamei amayah, Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha brichu le'elah min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiram bi'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav huya asei shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort to every bereaved heart. Thank you very much. Please be seated. We are almost done, by the way. So I'm so grateful to everyone who did such a great job with acting and behaving appropriately here in the synagogue and the sanctuary for the most part. And just want to share with you a handful of announcements, a couple of messages and thank yous as well. First of all, Israeli dancing returns one last time. Actually, second to last time now that I think about it. Wednesday, April 2nd, we'll be doing Israeli dancing, and it is a lot of fun. Please join us. That's Wednesday night during Hebrew school. The synagogue Seder is on Wednesday, April 16th. Feel free to sign up. Sponsored by the Sisterhood, open to members and non-members. But you have to RSVP by April 11th. We have a festival service with Yizkor at the end of Pesach on April 19th. We have our Yom HaShoah service, community Yom HaShoah service, men's club movie night. Everything you want to know that's going on here at the temple can be found in our weekly email. If you do not get our weekly email, hustle and go get and make sure you're on our weekly email list. I want to thank Bailey and Brad Feldman, Allison and Evan Pfisterer, Hannah and Tim Gribben, Carly and John Knott for sponsoring the Oneg Shabbat. Thank you so much to Dana Feldman and Brett Morrison for serving as ushers. Thank you so much to the teachers of our kindergarten and first grade, Lexi Dasiak and Chrissy Palco. And thank you, of course, to Cantor Gabe Snyder, who oversees the entire religious school and Makela. And Makela, you did such a sensational job this evening. We are going to conclude with Motzi and then one final song called Ma Yafeh Hayom. Ma Yafeh Hayom can be found on page, I had it in the booklet, I just put it in my pocket here. Ma Yafeh Hayom can be found on page 634. So as we're doing Motzi, kindergarten, first grade, and Makela, please come on up. Back to your spots. And we're going to do Motzi first. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz Shabbat Shalom. All right, Ma Yafeh Hayom is how we conclude our service.
Ma Yafeh Hayom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Ma Yafeh Hayom.
Shabbat Shalom. Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to you all. Thank you. Great job. You did a great job in our grown-up service. We look forward to seeing you out in the lobby for an Oneg Shabbat. Thanks so much for being here. Shabbat